The GLK was a special challenge for us, to build a comfortable SUV, but also give it a sporty style, which makes it a joy to drive, as well as making it tough enough and giving it the technical ability to drive off-road. That off-road quality, you might say. And that's the art of chassis building, to create neutral handling, but still to keep an eye on the safety reserves, to make sure the car never goes out of control or that the driver never gets into the situation where they can't keep the car under control.
We carry out around 500 crash tests a year here at the center. We usually have between 8 and 10 cameras set up for every test. These are high-speed cameras, of course, with 1,000 frames a second, because we have to analyze a very short period of time in detail. The vehicles are orange, although they don't necessarily have to be. The important thing is that they have a matte finish to avoid reflections. We have a range of color-coded markers on the dummies, for example on the face and on the sides and chest for side crashes, so that we can see the contact zones. Today we're conducting a test at 56 kilometers per hour against a rigid wall. That's a pretty extreme crash, and it allows us to cover 95% of all real crashes. So now it's going to take a little while for all the films to download and the data to be recorded. Here you can see the damage that's occurred, but it's not serious enough for the car to have failed. You can see how the wing has shifted, making it easy to open the doors after the accident. And you can also see that the passenger compartment is still intact. That's exactly what has to happen if the passenger restraint systems are going to be effective. What often sets a Mercedes apart from other vehicles is simply the details we incorporate into the vehicle. What often sets a Mercedes apart from other vehicles is simply the details we incorporate into it, such as the protective foam that we install under the carpet. It absorbs some of the force as the passenger's legs hit the floor of the car during an accident.
When we test the car, we need cold countries and hot countries. Cold countries include Scandinavia, where we do winter tests every year. And for the heat tests, we go to Dubai or South Africa, and sometimes also to North America. At the end of the day, when you have to give a car its character, make sure it becomes a Mercedes, then you have to love making cars and driving them. It's when you drive that you experience the car as a whole. And that's why I do it. And to a certain extent, my wealth of experience grows with every drive home.
GLK, I'd say it's like a fortress, a secure fortress, which gives optimum protection to those inside.
It was definitely a priority for me to ensure the car demonstrated great handling characteristics. That's an aspect I always get involved in personally, which is to do with experience, but also to do with the fact I'm an engineer by training. There's a lot of trial and error, and at some point we get to the stage where we can say, we're happy now. That'll make it a real Mercedes.